Hey Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, Seeker, and welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia Joy. How are you doing today? I am so excited to be sitting down and recording this for you. In truth, it feels like forever since I've sat down and recorded because it's being dramatic, but I just love recording so much because I recorded the previous one, if you had heard that, a few days early because I was going away for my birthday and I was going to be gone on Monday or just not working on Monday. So I decided to record it earlier. And so now it's been like a week or more and it just feels like too long. So I'm excited to be back. It doesn't seem any different on the outside, but it is energetically. So welcome back to me. Welcome back to you. So excited you're here. Today we are talking about the ladder method of manifesting. We're going to talk about incremental upgrades. We're going to talk about how to make big leaps in your life in an incremental step-by-step way, because I truly do believe that is how we make change. But I'm going to talk about this ladder method of manifesting that I'm really excited to dive into. But before we do, hello. How are you? You are looking magnetic today. How are you feeling? Are you hydrated? I hope you're well. I am doing fantastic. As I mentioned, I was away for my birthday. It was my 40th, all the stuff. And I feel older, wiser, yes, more mature. And I'm really just excited. It was a great weekend. I saw Deepak Chopra on my birthday, went to a talk in Vancouver. I'm on the west coast of Canada on Vancouver Island, for any of you that haven't heard or haven't listened to the show. So we went over on the boat off the island and the kids were taken care of. So we just got to have a weekend away. Saw some friends, had some brunches, had some meals, went to Deepak Chopra, stayed in a hotel. It was amazing. It was perfect. And I feel a lot of momentum going into 40. I'm really excited about it. I had this moment, and maybe you feel the same around whatever age you are. And I just was looking back at 10 years ago, right, in this whole decade reflection. And I was thinking, I don't actually remember my 30th birthday. I don't tend to remember for some reason, like the actual day, what we did. It gets blurred with all the birthdays. But I was thinking where I was in life and where I was living. I had just given birth to my second baby less than a month before. And I was just thinking about right before I got pregnant with her, it was not a good time. And I won't get all into this here, but that was right around the time of my massive rock bottom. It probably was like maybe a year prior to that, but it's messy. And I was in addiction and an eating disorder, and that stuff doesn't just stop overnight. So it was a very weird time. And my husband and I we weren't married at the time, we were just dating, but we had been friends since we were teenagers. So we were in like party mode. We were drinking every night, like a lot of vodka, a lot of debauchery. I was secretly doing drugs, not necessarily secretly from him, but just it was a situation. And we made the choice shortly, it kind of got to this pinnacle where for all of our reasons, him individually, me individually, it was like, this has to stop. And I kept hearing this sort of voice going like, you're made for more. This is not the life that. It was almost like the words were like, you're made for more, but it was it was being flashed to me like what I was doing with my life and how that was so not the course, like the fullest expression of what I was kind of here to do, because I've always known that I'm here to make a massive impact in the world. I've always felt different. I've always been so connected to spirit and intuition and wisdom, even when I was freaking lost. It's still always the way that I've been. I knew I wanted to write books. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. And it was like I was seeing myself deteriorating and then also very present to what I was meant to become. even though, again, the details weren't there, it was this feeling of like you're meant for so much more. And a lot of that was like a life of freedom, a life of feeling good, a life of joy, a life of pleasure, a life of excitement. So yes, abundance, and yes, travel and all that stuff, but a life of true fulfillment, purpose, impact, health, vitality. And I was so opposite of that. So it's insane what can happen in 10 years is really what I'm trying to say. And sometimes there's this saying that I've heard before, and it really resonates with me when I have young kids. The days are long, but the years are short. And sometimes those days feel so long. And in this context, it feels sometimes like we're not making progress. Like, oh my God, I've dealt with this thing forever, or I'm still not making XYZ per month, or I still haven't called this thing in. But we have to remind ourselves of how far we've come. Because I bet if you looked back 10 years ago, let's think about 2013, like where were you at in your mind, in your life, right? So I don't claim to have it all figured out right now. And there's a lot of things I've struggled with for a long time, but I definitely feel this sense of being really, I don't know what it is. It's like proud of myself, reflective. It pumps me up. I become my own activator to be like, holy crap, look at what you've done. Look at what you've done. Look at the stuff you used to deal with that you don't. Look at the stuff that you used, the deep wounds that were so active that now are either not active, or I have the tools, I have the resources, I've learned more. I think about the things that were a mystery to me, like pain, and just even like, why can't I lose weight, or why can't I blah, 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 and like hating my body and just all this stuff. I've just moved so far, and I'm so proud of myself. And so in this isn't just about tooting my horn. This is about really look at you, look at your life, look at 2013. Where were you at? Where were you living? Who were you around? And let's just take a second to acknowledge that version of us, because we have come a long way. So with that, I acknowledge you, my friend, and I'm going to share something really quick, and then we're going to dive into today's episode talking about ladder manifesting and incremental upgrades. So first, I want to say that I have got a full moon clearing and activation coming up. I believe it's November 27th. I just don't have my calendar right in front of me. Should have prepared that. I believe it's the 27th. It is the day of the full moon, the evening of the full moon, and you can check the link below. I'm going to do something, it's slightly different, but the same as my Talia style clearings, but we're going to do a clearing and a quantum activation. So it's going to be an energetic clearing, but also we're going to go through your entire system. We're going to go through, or your systems. We're going to go through 6 different pillars of manifestation and activating the quantum versions of you. It may not make sense, but I know it's intriguing as hell. When you get there, it will make perfect sense. So we're going to activate these different versions of you that is immersed in self-care, that is magnetic, that is manifesting what you desire, that is healing, that is in the pocket of vitality and freedom and success and all of this. So we're going to go deep into an activation. So it's still going to be extremely relaxing and nourishing, as you love my chakra clearings to be. And if you haven't ever come to one of my clearings, I definitely recommend doing that. We do the Get Unblocked ones. I haven't been doing those as much, but I love showing up and doing group chakra clearing. So we're going to do a big clearing on what the full moon is asking us to clear, what is actually ready to go. Because every time there's a full moon, energy comes right up to the surface, ready to come off. I'm trying to think of the right metaphor, but it's almost like a leaf when it's just ready and all it takes is like a and the leaf comes off. That's what comes about at the full moon. They encourage us, spirit, the energies, our guides, our highest self. It's this opportunity once a month or once every 29 days where what is ready to go is really close to the surface. And sometimes all you need is a little or a chakra clearing, and we can really release some really good stuff. So we're going to do that, go into a quantum activation to help you quantum leap, to help you in your growth and manifestation journey that you are already on. It is going to be a beautiful time. I've got some really great images that are coming forward and journeys that Source wants to take us on involving water and elements, and it's just going to be so yummy. So check the link in the show notes below. It's just called a full moon release and activation, and I can't wait to see you there. Yes, there's a recording. I always send out a recording within 24 hours along with a chakra or the clearing / activation, that as an isolated track, so you can listen to that later again, because I know you're going to love it and it's going to be powerful. So Join me, Spirit. Let's really help to move you forward. Join me in the full moon activation. Let's do that. Okay. The next thing I want to say before we launch in is I've alluded in a couple of the last previous episodes. I have got something so exciting coming behind the scenes, and I'm ready to give a little more information. Everything is going to be dropping soon. I just want to sacredly share as it unfolds. So you may have heard of Activated. You may have taken Activated. So Activated is my signature system. It's the process of transformation. It contains the manifestation formula. It's everything. And what I mean by everything is not just I'm really jazzed about it. It is this process was downloaded by Spirit. So first of all, I'm not running Activated again right now. This isn't where it's going, but this does go somewhere juicy. So I was at my rock bottom a couple years ago, or a rock bottom a couple years ago with my business and finances and feeling frustrated. I was also very activated in my abandonment wounds and lots of pain and a lot of different things coming up. And one time at the beach where all my good shit happens, it's either the beach or the shower, Source showed me the formula. And again, I have no intention of trying to be catchy or markety to be like, tell them it's a formula and they'll buy. That's not what I mean. They showed me the formula of energy of life, the formula of transformation. And it's very fucking simple. So what happened is I saw it all and it was like, holy crap. I instantly got a lot of clarity in why I was so stuck, why I could never make more money, why my body wasn't healing, why I just felt like desperate, like, come on, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? I was neglecting my self-care. It was just all the stuff. And I know you go through that as well. And I just wanted to be like, what the heck? So they showed me this formula, and I'll even share a little bit right here. But they showed it to me, and I realized in the next year, I'm kind of just jumping around because, so they gave me the formula. I created Activated. I rented an Airbnb. I recorded all this stuff. It channeled out about healing and activation and deliberate creation and manifestation. It was just incredible. And I've taken groups of seekers through Activated. When it came forward, and how it was expressed was trainings that have slides and videos with audio over them. And I'm teaching, there's workbooks, there's all this stuff. So I've taken quite a few rounds of students through that. But lately, they've been showing me that I think it's just like the platform or the way in which to deliver. They're basically showing me like the content I received is my part of my signature work. It's actually now what my book is written around. It's everything that I do. It's what I do with my clients. It was just so beautiful because it is the process of transformation. It's how we move from A to Z or A to B or A to 3 or whatever you want to get to. It is how we do that. It is the cycle of, as I say, transformation, of death and rebirth. And it was just so golden. So I was starting to grow a little bit more like, well, with Activated, I might still run it once a year. The content is banging, but there's something about the video trainings and just, I don't know. So anyways, I was going through this discomfort of like, what do I need to shift? Because the content is epic. Everybody needs this. And then in the last few months, I've received this massive download around combining that with a podcast. So I do this podcast. You found me somehow. We're reaching 170,000 downloads in over 30 countries. Fucking blows my mind. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing with friends. Thank you for doing this work. Thank you for being someone who is so knee deep. Holy crap. And what you need, pardon me, what you need, getting emotional, what you need is the system, the formula. And so after this came about and then I created Activate and I started taking people through, I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it in Joe Dispenza's work, in Bruce Lipton, in Neville Goddard, in Tony Robbins, in Gabby Bernstein, in Abraham, in Wayne Dyer. I'm seeing, and these people are just, people that I take on their content and teachers and authors that I love and, self-development gurus. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it in the cycle of the butterfly. I'm seeing it in the seasons. I'm seeing it in the earth. And so in the last few years, it's been like, holy shit, this is the secret. And part of my gifts is I'm like a life reader. Like I can see energy, I can feel energy. And that's why I always use metaphors and like the truth is everywhere. I'm here to share how I perceive the truth, but it's not Talia's truth. It's the spiritual truth. It's how this experience works. Like, what does it mean to be human? How do we navigate this life? Yes. How do we actually manifest what we want? But also, like, what is this life? And what is this experience? And what does it mean to grow through what you go through? And what is my soul calling me to grow into and accept? It's like, it's everything. So anyway, got this idea, and I have been like an insane mad scientist behind the scenes, creating the most incredible offer, portal, a new, brand new, fresh way of learning and self-healing. And I am here to change the way that we evolve and grow and come back to these eternal truths, come back to how this actually works, not only law of attraction, not only healing, not only intuition, not only quantum, bringing it all together so that you truly can revolutionize, upgrade, activate your life. So the formula is simple. And this is what I say. I see it in Joe Dispenza, in all these people. This is it. It's activating who you truly are, your core essence, your core values, your soul essence, who you truly fucking are, your truth, your true authentic desires, your whole authentic self that sits in full worthiness, that sits in expression, that sits in already, always good enough, whole and complete. That is your whole authentic self, the part of you that is either expanded or below, or whatever you want to call it, below just the human, the part of you that is not your bank account, the part of you that is not your body, the part of you that is not your status. It's not your successes or your failures or your ethnicity. It's the part of you that is the youest pure part of you. We have to activate who you truly are, so that you can know what is right for you, what you truly desire on a soul level, your boundaries, how to offer yourself self-love. It's deep. So I call that activating your whole authentic self. The second step is healing what you are not, or what stands in the way between you and your manifestation. It's both. If you're going toward money, you have to activate your whole authentic self, magnetic energy, and then heal the shit that you have learned that is not conducive to where you're going. So this is where limiting beliefs come up, or I teach inner child healing, inner teenager healing on this new, beautiful, powerful platform. So we heal. And then after that, we reprogram. This is the reprogramming of the brain. We are humans. We have a brain. So you can take notes on this. This is seriously like the fucking formula for life. Activating who you truly are. Who am I actually? Healing what you are not, the shit that has happened to you, that has put on you, either previous lives, this life, childhood, beliefs, insecurities, anything that keeps you from feeling magnetic and confident. The third is reprogramming the brain, because you have physical neural pathways. You have beliefs and habits and actions that all impact your results. And often that is we need the healing, but then we need the rewiring of the beliefs of like, money's evil, or I can't, I'm not inspiring enough, it's not safe to be me, people let me down, I can't trust people, all that stuff. We do need to go into the brain and reprogram. That's the huge thing Joe Dispenza is about, although he brings in all of these aspects. So we do the reprogramming, and then we step into deliberate creation. So just hear this formula: activating who you truly are, healing what you're not, reprogramming that beautiful noggin of yours, and then stepping the fuck into the life you want. This is where we use law of attraction, law of assumption, quantum manifestation, the art of deliberate creation. I have a whole formula called the manifestation formula, but this is where we go out and deliberately create. So that is the formula. And in Activated, as well as in this new learning portal, I have created more than, I think it's 13 or 15 or something. There's the core trainings that take you step by step. And then within each of the trainings, there's also tools that we use to do that work. So within the activating your whole authentic self aspect, we have core tools on how to do that. Prompts, processes, questions to ask yourself, exactly how to do the work. Then we go into healing. We have different offers of inner child healing, inner teenager healing, talking about the ego, talking about the shadow, talking about how to heal, how to self-heal, questions to ask yourself, processes to do, meditations to go through, everything. I've got your back. We move into reprogramming. So many tools on how to reprogram your brain, affirmations, quantum embodiment tools, how to actually impact the conscious and subconscious mind. We've got meditations. We've got how to do the work. Then we move into the art of deliberate creation. Now, my love, you are more magnetic and you are more free to deliberately create what you want. This is where you get inspired to take action. This is where you go out and do the thing because you're clear now. You know who you are. You know what you're not. You're reprogramming that beautiful brain to work for you. And now you're actually free to go and deliberately create. And this is, as I said, quantum manifestation, the activating her work. I have a whole module on awakening her and how exactly to do that. So anyway, we've got this all broken down for you. Everything is from spirit. All the tools are so carefully and intentionally placed. And the beautiful part is the whole beginning of the Learning Portal, which is a secret private podcast, by the way. The whole beginning is the work. It are the steps. You go through, you start at 1 and you just go through. And then there's a bit of a break and I'm going to be offering more, and there's going to be weekly episodes and stuff, but deep diving into concepts, key practices that I use. We're going to have pep talks. We're going to have like more hands-on activations, workshops, all these different things. And this Learning Portal is that. I pretend, or I am, talking to my clients. I'm giving you the high level tools. When people invest with me, I don't hold anything back. I'm literally giving them everything that I can in every moment, meaning I'm giving you the full tool. I'm not holding back. This is how I treat the podcast. I look at it like you're investing thousands of dollars a month in my work. And I give you all of that. So I'm truly breaking it down, holding nothing back, showing you exactly how to create the life that you desire. And it's created in a way that I know you will go back to it. I know you'll go back and be like, you know what? I need to listen to that one on taking inspired action again. I need to listen to that inner child healing one. I need to listen to, the quantum manifestation module. I need to go back because you're going to want to. I'm always going back. I also have content on how to live this way, how to live on the path and really be living this in your everyday life. Note how to notice when things come up, what to ask yourself when they do. It's the best. This is the best. So there's meditations, there's prompts, there's exact practices, there's deep dive trainings that are concise to the point and potent AF. There's no other option but for this Learning Portal to move you forward, because we're changing the conversation on self-healing, on manifestation. It's not this empty, thing anymore. It is a lifestyle. We are seekers. We are committed to a life of growth. We are committed to a life of being on the path. So that's what I'm doing. This is the next leg of my work. This is the next big expression as I move into my book and live events and all of this. This is the way where I can teach the masses and give you it all, give you everything you need to change your life, because you're already a self-healer. You're already a seeker, seeking truth, seeking answers. You're knee deep in the work. You've already created a bunch of cool shit, but it's probably just hard to implement. You struggle to maybe implement or to know what to do when you get triggered, because all this spiritual information can be so contradictory, right? It's like, oh, just surrender, but also take inspired action, but don't force it. It's like, what? It gets confusing, but I got you. We are on the path together. I'm so excited to bring this to you. So after all of this, if this has you tingly in your cells, I've created a super secret waitlist for this offer. You will get the lowest price available. And because it's a monthly thing, getting a lower rate really does make a difference. So that'll be there for you, as well as some freebie goodies. But for now, you'll just enter your email in the link below, and I'll just send you an email in a little bit when it's ready to go, when we have everything on the back end set up, and when all of your stuff is ready for you to start binging on, and you can access that incredible rate. We're going to have a VIP tier if you want a little bit more hands-on, if you want the community aspect, if you want physical, not in person, Zoom clearings and things to go along with the Learning Portal. But this is how to stay on the path. This is how to do the work. And I'm so excited to take you through. So make sure to check the link or click the link below. All it is just adding you to the wait list. No pressure, no weird weirdness. You'll just get information first on this. It's very affordable. It's very clear. It's very concise. I'm so fucking proud and excited of what this is going to do and how it's going to help your life and my life. I'm going to be listening to it too. There's meditations on there. There's all the things. So I know that I'm going to be using it as well, because I often refer back to my book. I'm like, okay, this looping pattern is coming up. What do I say to do again? So it's going to be a resource for all of us. Anyway, let's move on. I'm so sorry this intro has been so freaking long. I clearly went off, but that was powerful. Even if you're not into learning, the methods and the practices, just that whole formula I shared with you there, that is an episode in itself. So let's move on to ladder manifesting. So what I mean by ladder manifesting is basically incremental upgrades. I want to talk about now how I see people all the time with very big dreams and goals, and that's me as well. Like, I have motherfucking massive dreams, and I also have dreams and goals that I would like to achieve in the next 12 months or sort of my next phase, right? So I want you to dream big. In fact, that is spirit offering you the fullest expression of what is possible when you're like, I want to completely overhaul my life or sell everything and travel or start an international business or whatever it is, your big, big, big goals. And again, it can be big within yourself, like healing this condition or healing my, mental health or something like that, or big meaning like success, abundance, flashiness, like whatever you want is yours and gets to be yours. So have those big goals. And what I'm going to recommend that you do, if you want to take this into a physical practice to really get the most out of it, is write down that big goal at the top of a piece of paper. And then underneath, what I do is I write all of the mini goals that kind of have to happen to get to the big goals. So for example, say I had a goal of making $100,000 a year, and right now I make $30,000 a year, just for example, for nice round numbers. So I'm going, okay, I want to make 100,000. And I guess that wouldn't even be the fullest expression. If that is, I recommend to go higher. Let's make 500,000 or $1 million a year as your goal. But anyways, let's just use the round numbers. I want to make $100,000. So one method how we could use ladder manifesting, and you could break it down however resonates with you. But say I want to make $100,000 a year. I figure out that that's just over $8,000, 333 into infinity, per month. So what are some of the goals that I have to reach to get there? Because a lot of times people are waiting for the quantum leap, which is totally possible. But as I like to say, a quantum leap takes work before the leap. It looks like it happens all at once, but you have been clearing energy. You have been holding the vision. You have been healing. You have been intentionally creating. You've been working on your optimism, your trust, your faith, whatever it is that led to that quantum leap. It's never truly out of nowhere, because energy works in a certain way where it doesn't just happen out of nowhere. There's always a cause and effect, but it could be that you've been really doing your energy work and really doing, maybe it's Kundalini, or maybe you've been taking a lot of action, or maybe, something else has been happening and some huge blessing comes through and it looks like a quantum leap, but you've actually taken incremental upgrades behind the scenes. So I want to say, don't just wait for the $100,000 year to just kind of happen, or whatever year it is for you. We want to, yes, take action, but more realize that it is a progress. It is a progress. Even if in 1 year you go from, $30,000 a year to 100,000, you did that in 12 months. There's still 12 months you were doing that, right? So no matter how you look at it, it is incremental in a sense. So what I would do here is I'd go, okay, $100,000 a month, that's 8,333. Per month. So some of the milestones I would have to hit, I would go like, okay, what am I making right now per month? And say, I don't know what the math is on the 30,000, blah, 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 but maybe it's like $4,000 or $2,500 or something a month. And that's what I'm making right now. So to get to $8,000 a month, just for, again, round numbers, I would have to get, I would have to pass 3,000. I would have to pass 4,000. I would have to pass, obviously all the way up, 6,000, 7,000. So I could do that in 1 month, but it's still a goal I need to pass. So what I would do is at the top of the page, I'd write $100,000 year, and maybe underneath 8,33333 per month or whatever, goals I reach on the way, or milestones I will reach on the way. And you can write like very physical things like passing the $5,000 a month mark, Or it could be energetic. Like I was thinking about if you wanted to lose 100 pounds and you could go, what are some of the milestones that I'm going to meet along the way? And I wouldn't make them all, now that we're switching over to a different type of goal, I wouldn't make them all weight related. I would say, like being able to walk 10 minutes without being out of breath, or being able to run down the street, or, some sort of like other milestones along the way. Maybe it's becoming a size 14 and then becoming a size 12, or just whatever. And I'm not even a giant fan of the measurements, blah, blah, blah. But just for the example of ladder manifesting, what we're doing is we're breaking it down into smaller milestones. So in order to get to where you're going, there's several things that will need to happen, and you don't have to know all of them. But when we allow our brain to start going like, okay, how do I know I'm moving in the right direction? Well, I start making more money and I start thinking of new offers and I gain a few new clients. So maybe on my way to that goal, one of the goals is being booked with full-time clients, or getting 2 extra clients, or whatever. You can use, anything, but it's about breaking down those increments. So what I highly recommend you do is right at the top of the page, your goal, and then underneath, what are some milestones I will have to pass to get there? Make it energetic, make it physical, make it whatever you want. And there could be 5. It doesn't have to be 25. It could be 3, but looking at what's my next goal. So if I'm going for the $100,000 year and I say to myself, I want that in the next 12 months, if I'm making right now 2,000 or whatever it was, I'm probably going to focus on something like 5K and be like, okay, my first thing is to make a 5K month. And then I start learning about that, or I start thinking of new offers. I start communicating with Source to be like, how could I make $5,000 a month? What are some fun, potent ways that I could make $5,000 a month? Or just being open, being aware, or going into meditation, visualizing it, doing some healing work around money. You could do any of them. It's really what calls you at that point, but it's looking and now hyper-focusing on the 5 and being like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make 5, and incrementally working. I do 5, I smash it. I celebrate the hell out of myself. And then I'm like, okay, 7, let's get to 7. Once I get to 7, I'm like almost there. Okay, 7. What can I do to now create an extra couple to, 1,000? And this could take a few months to nail it in. I could be working with my coach about it, or YouTubing, or watching YouTube videos about it, like learning in some way. Be patient with yourself, because when you're actively focused on what you want, you are moving forward faster than when you're not focused on what you want. Even if you're watching YouTube videos being like, I don't know if I want to do drop shipping. I don't know if I want. By you finding what you don't want, you're also moving forward toward what you do want. But usually we just go like, I don't know, I just want it. And it's like, well, it has to come some way. So whether it's coming through your business, whether it's coming through your winning it, it's the government, it's a bonus at work, it has to come some way. And that's the part where we want to start to like incrementally move toward and look at what is my next goal. So incremental upgrades are also about you becoming that person and that version of yourself incrementally. So if I want to, let's go back to health. If you had, or someone had 100 pounds or 50 pounds to lose, you also want to look at, and in my quantum activation work, which we'll be doing in the full moon thing, and also in the new podcast. But anyways, the quantum activation work, I would say, who is the version of me who has lost 100 pounds? Who is the version of me who is making $100,000 a year easy? Who is that version of me? And then I would say, what kind of things did she do to get to where she is? So if I see the version of me that's lost 100 pounds, there are some shifts that I need to make. So not only am I aware of the incremental grades or incremental successes, like, okay, I first have to lose 20 pounds and then another 10 or whatever it is. I also am looking at the habits and the personality and the energy shifts. So how is she different from me now, that version of me? What did they do to get to here? And that's where, if you've never done this work before, it's like mind-blowing. And with clients and in clearings and stuff, we go deep into a meditative state and we actually activate and channel and connect with that version of us so that they can give us advice. They can give us guidance. They can say, I've been where you are and this is what you need to focus on. But depending on how intuitive you are or how far along this work you are, Start to ask that. So the version of me that makes $100,000 a year, what is her energy like? How is she different than me? And for me personally, whenever money goals come up, and I see that version of me, she is more in receiving mode. She's more in self-care. She's more in trust and grace. That tends to be always the thing that gets me to my next level. It's not about the ideas and then I execute and then I make more money. It's actually the internal shifts, the internal clearing, the faith that grows every fucking day within me, the new life rules I create for myself. You'll learn about that on the new podcast. The new ways I see things, the quantum embodiment, the choosing to show up for myself, the seeing abundance everywhere, being grateful for what I have, knowing that it's mine. That always is what brings me to my next level. And then that energy leads to a fucking epic idea or mojo for the book and, whatever it is, right? It adds energy to everything that I do. So that version of me that is more abundant is almost always more like flowy and trustful and in grace and takes time for self-care and does yoga and just has a fucking solid energy. And so that's always what I lean to as I'm quantum leaping. And then again, that energy leads me to the ideas where I go, holy crap, that would be awesome. Also being in that energy makes my work more valuable because as you know, if you're my one-on-one clients, I have high energy as far as I am fucking there for you. I am channeling spirit. I am hearing you. We are talking multiple times a day when like on voice memo, when you're my full on client, that takes a lot of energy and it used to drain me. But now I'm like jazzed at the end of the day only because I take time for myself to honor what I truly need. And that's always what my highest self is calling me toward. But she also offers very practical advice. And I've had a lot of clients that are on a journey of making more money or health or whatever, even finding love. And they go like, okay, what did you do? And to get to where you are from here, what did you do to that version of me? And they usually say like, trust, surrender, let go. It's okay. The person is coming. You just work on you. Or maybe they'll say like, stop with the apps for a little bit. It's like messing up your energy, the dating apps or whatever. Or maybe they'll say, what, it's time to get back on the dating app. They'll be able to give you advice on your energy and on your physical being. So this is also where we bring in incremental upgrades. And so you can write under your goal all of those milestones that you need to hit. And then all of the practices, the moves, the steps, the guidance, even if it's just two things, that your higher self or that quantum you, the version of you that has already manifested it, what have they said to do? What are your steps? What are they recommending for your energy, for your mindset, for your headspace? What is the guidance there? And write all that down and then just say, what is one thing I can do? Now that you're focused on just your next goal, just the next 20 pounds, just the next $1,000, just the next date, or feeling, in faith and flow about finding your mate, whatever that next goal is, to relax about it, to not be stressed about it, to feel joyful anyway, whatever that next step is, then you also have some tools on how to move forward. And then we just take those steps. We take small incremental upgrades that move us in the direction of what we say we want. And then we trust and we allow the universe to also come in and guide us. So if things fall apart, we trust anyway. If new ideas come, but they're scary, we trust anyway. If something really, really, really calls to us, but it's a stretch for time or money or something, but so much that it's divinely placed, you do it anyway. But also when it's not right for you, you can say no. So we learn how to move in the direction of your dreams. And the last thing I want to say on this is when you're activating that version of you, what I just said about knowing if something's right for you or not, as you activate this version of you and you get and you receive the types of things that they do to stay fit or to, make money or to become successful in your career or whatever, you do get this sense of what is not for you as well. And that comes when we activate our whole authentic self, as I was talking about earlier. But this is sort of the way to get to what is right for you. So maybe if you're looking at how am I going to make more money in my business, and you go to the version of you that's making more money in your business, and you notice that they have like in-person retreats and workshops, and they have a card deck that they sell, and they might have some like tank tops or merch or whatever. And there's a lot of collaboration. They do collaborative retreats, like whatever you see as what they do to make their money. When someone comes along and goes like, hey, do you want to sell this like multi-level marketing insurance or shampoo or whatever? You can really quickly go like, no, that's not for me right now. It might even be later. But maybe your highest self, when you're looking to make more income, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or a new mom or whatever it is, and you get the idea that your highest self or that version of you is finding something like multi-level marketing or drop shipping or something you can do so that you can focus on your baby, but then also make money. Then if someone comes along and they're like, oh my God, I just joined this company and like already I've made this money, then you might want to look and go like, oh, So again, there's no right or wrong answers. There's no one way to success. But by channeling that version of you, looking at what they do and incrementally making upgrades in that direction, you kind of just can't fail. Like really, truly, there's no other choice but for you to succeed, especially when you're on the path doing this work, so that as shit comes up or when things are perceived failures or when it looks like something's not working out, that's when you can channel her energy again. And they are going to encourage you to ground into trust and faith, to do your meditations. Don't abandon yourself. Don't abandon your self-care. Just stay the course. It's all good. It's meant for you. You come back to that and now you're back in the pocket. You know what I mean? So in essence, I hope I even described it. Ladder manifesting is when we don't just look at the big goal, we break it down and we become more focused on the littler goal, knowing that the big goal is coming. So it's almost like, okay, you want $100,000 year, no problem, put it aside. It is like basically lodged, the order is placed, it is meant for you. Yes, done, awesome, put it aside. What is that first goal we have to smash? Okay, first goal we have to smash is 5K months. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Okay, start searching stuff. Listen on YouTube. As I said before, pray, meditate, expand, look at your money limiting beliefs. Whatever work calls you, do that, smash that goal and go to the next one, knowing that that $100,000 is on the way, knowing that you are getting there, knowing you're losing the weight or that this is the path to health, and just stay the course. That is ladder manifesting. It works better for most people, not everybody. Some people, if that 100,000 and they just fucking go until they get there. But if you haven't been able to achieve those big goals, then generally we have to break it down. It's not about willpower or potential of success or anything. It's actually about the brain. And when the brain has something that seems too big, it will try to sabotage you because it feels out of reach. It's like if you were like, yeah, I'll go for a hike, and you show up and it's like the biggest fucking mountain you've ever seen. All of a sudden your brain's like, actually, we're not going to get back on time and you have a bad knee and maybe you shouldn't, right? Because it's like, what? This is too big. I can't do it. But you can do it. And if you told yourself, okay, let's just hike for 20 minutes. And if we hate it, we can turn back. Okay, 20 minutes, smashed it out. Let's go another 20 minutes. Let's go 45. Let's do this, right? That is actually how you climb the mountain for most of us. So then the aspect of incremental upgrades is asking that version of you what they did, what types of things they do, move in that direction incrementally. And when you bring those two together, one little thing at a time, you are now in line, you are now on the path, you are now manifesting your desire. And hold that faith. Hold that faith, hold that trust. That is the secret sauce. When you waver, your manifestations waver. When you waver, your manifestations waver. Hold the faith. Keep at it. Keep focused on that next goal. Chomp it off. Celebrate the shit out of yourself and keep going. You have fucking got this. You have overcome so much. We are on the path together. It's not always easy, but we are moving forward. I've got you. You are not alone. I'm so excited to do this journey with you. And I hope that this has been supportive. So if you want to check out this new podcast and get on the wait list, check the link below. If you want to join the full moon clearing and activation, we're going to be doing that quantum activation. Check the link below. There's also lots below there. If none of this resonates with you, there's a freebie library. There's my manifestation activity and coloring book, which makes an incredible Christmas gift, by the way. That's up there. It's called Manifest This Shit. It is so fun. It's like the adult activity and coloring book that you just secretly want. So anyway, that's there, as well as a bunch of other helpful, incredible tools and things to check out. So thank you so much, Seeker, for tuning in today, for spending this time for me, for incrementally upgrading your life, expanding your energy, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And before we go, I want to ask you a question. Have you grabbed your copy yet of Manifest This Shit? Manifest This Shit is a law of attraction coloring and activity book available on Amazon, and I am so excited about it. It is packed with beautiful, inspiring coloring pages, manifestation practices, tools, places to make notes and lists and write down your intuitive hits. There's so many beautiful pages in there. It's the perfect addition to your daily practice. So whether you use it to pass time instead of being on your phone, or you use it as a creative ritual, this book has pages for everybody. I know you're going to love it. So grab Manifest This Shit on Amazon. The link is below in the show notes.